When you go to the symphony, you see a group of people sitting down behind the cello. You see another group of people standing or sitting on a stool behind the bass. But then there's a whole sea of them playing with the instrument tucked under their chins. Well, guess what? They're not all playing the violin. Some of them are playing the viola. I know I'm being facetious, but that's how viola players feel sometimes. It's not just a big violin. The viola makes a very specific sound, and the sound is a different sound than the violin. Violin, because of the rounded shoulder and the less broad bottom, is always going to have a brighter tone. And students who are attracted to that brightness will want to play the violin. But when you run across a student who just loves that deep, dark, rich sound and yet doesn't really want to play the cello because of size of their hand or any other issue, try viola with them. It's not all that scary. Viola is longer, and therefore you will need to have students who have a longer arm and larger hands. At the early stages, there are small violas, but I usually do take a look at the parents to see if we think this child is going to grow to be taller or have bigger hands down the road. This is not to say that a student with small hands and shorter arms could never play a viola. They will just never be able to play one of the larger ones that most people in a symphony would use. Because of the size of the instrument, we have a couple of special problems when we're playing. The instrument can be placed under the jaw and on the collarbone, just like the violin, and you tip slightly to the side and look down the instrument. So far, there's no difference in our placing of the instrument. However, if you notice, because of the length of the instrument, when I put my hand down to where would be the first position down the road, my arm is stretched out much more. And because of this, the kids will want their arm to droop. Now, when you do this, you're going to cause some problems with the neck. You can't drop the instrument without also dropping your head. And you can cause severe problems in the muscles and vertebrae of the neck if you do this for many, many hours a week. It's important that the students remember that we need to keep the arm up, not just for sound, but also for the health of their body. Therefore, be very, very careful when placing the instrument that you don't allow the violas to be down here, looking down. First of all, the instrument will never speak as well. And second of all, their bodies will feel it later. When you are trying to address this, if you have students that are already too low, take the instrument completely away and start from scratch. One of the things people try sometimes is to raise the instrument, and when they raise it up, they're often doing something with their shoulder. I'm going to turn just a moment here and show you. When I go up like this, my shoulder is actually pushed forward, and my rotator cuff isn't working for me. If instead you bring your arm up this way and bring the instrument to you, it's kind of funny when you think about it. We're a lot bigger than the instrument, and yet many, many times, instead of bringing the instrument to us, we go to the instrument. So if you have a student who is drooping like this, remember to tell them to take the instrument down, start over, find that position once again from the scratch, and place the arm properly in place. This will help them have a much clearer sound and will be much, much healthier for their bodies.